Welcome everyone to Create Your Freemium workshop. Today we are going to talk a little bit about the power of a freemium, but chances are if you're here, you are already well aware of the power of a freemium and you've probably had it on your to-do list for quite some time. So I am going to walk you through the freemium. I am going to give you some ideas on what types of freemiums you can do. And I'm going to send you the templates so that you can start creating your freemium. You will be getting the freemium today, so you will have those templates. But what I realize is that in an hour, you're probably not going to design it. So what I would like us to do in this hour, for the last half of the hour, we're going to sketch out what type of freemium you're going to do, and then we're going to plan it out. So that way, once you get your templates, you will be ready to drag and drop. And here is a bonus. If you are here, this will be a lot more hands-on for you. And if we discover that you want to use a freemium that I have not given you the template for, there's a good chance that I'm going to create a template for you. So it is my goal today for anyone who has joined us to walk away with their freemium blueprint and their template to get this done this week. So I am very, very excited to be doing this. There's a lot of different workshops that we could be doing, and I am going to ask you to be thinking about other topics you'd like me to teach on, and put that into the chat, because I want to teach what people want to hear. There's a lot of things I can teach. But if you ever heard me speak before, you know how important and how much I stress the power of the call to action. And a call to action that's not just buy this or call me, because people may not be ready to make that commitment. So a freemium is something that people can get their hands on for free and get a taste of who you are. So let's get started. I'm Margaret Brown. I am the CEO and founder of Socialize LA, and I am proud to be coming to you from my home office, and I'll be doing that for a while, and it feels really nice. I used to never want to go live from my home office because I thought, forgive me, I thought it was unprofessional. I thought, no, this is why I have an office in downtown LA. No. And now I'm like, I never want to not work in my office. I do have 2 memberships at 2 different, a co-working and then a private club in downtown LA, so I can have meetings and things. But I am so glad. That's one thing that came out of this, because I am so productive in this space. It's my happy space, and I'm happy to share it with you. So I have been in business for over 11 years. The Socialize LA team, we are 7 people strong. We are a marketing agency with a done for you arm and a done with you training arm. And it is our great pleasure to do what we do. So I do see a lot of people that I know, so I'm excited that you're here with me. And we are going to get started. And what's funny is that I have a really great memory. So if we have ever worked together, chances are I remember exactly who your target audience is. And I remember we've probably already talked about a freemium that we needed to create. And so I might be able to use live examples. So here we go. What is the point of a freemium? So it's important that we don't just view our freemium as a sales tool in the fact that it's like a, bait and switch. You really want to solve an immediate problem. You really want the person to say, oh my gosh. So that's when we have to come as marketers, business owners who are really trying to solve the problem for their ideal customer, client. And you just know in your heart and in your mind and in your gut that there will always be people who only want the free items. I know that's just the way it is, because a lot of people are the DIYers and they'll take what you have and they'll run with it. Now let's hope that they at least give you some credit online with a review or something. That would be nice. But that's just the way the world works. So it needs to solve an immediate problem, even if you are giving something away, because there is that percentage and that demographic of people who will come back and purchase and upsell and all of that stuff. It's important that your freemium is related to the main offering of what you do. So I know that's kind of goes without saying, but sometimes it's not. So now in a lot of our worlds, our freemium could be one of many things because our world is so vast. But you know, it's just important that you keep that in mind. Okay, so does this lead into my course? Does this lead into my coaching service? Does this lead into my product? So think about this. And this is just a whole nother thing. This is another workshop, what I'm about to say, is that do you have levels of how people can work with you? So if you are a service-based business, are there levels? Well, you might say, no, I'm in real estate. You know, you're either not buying a house or you're not buying a house. It's like, okay, so if that's not the case, then your freemiums are built a little bit different. Like just so you know, I'm very transparent about how I do my marketing. And I have levels of how you can work with me from 0 to 27 to 55 to $37 a month on up to managed social media services. So that's a really nice way to segue people, because when people are first starting to get to know you, they're not sure if they want to buy from you. So if you do have a product or service that there's only like nothing to, you know, higher price points, higher commitments, then you are really going to be delivering value for the sake of being the thought leader and the expert in that field. So that way, when they are ready to make that purchase or build that home or, you know, have their driveway redone, then they know that they're going to go to you because you're top of mind and you've given them awesome information. So here's an example, a photographer, a portrait photographer. One thing a freemium that you could do, and this is great. So if you have anything you want me to touch on, if I can work it into the conversation, I absolutely will. For instance, I would do something like the top 10 ways to show up your best to your headshots. So let's say you do headshots for business people. I'm not sure exactly who your target market is, but I know in the world I live in, the woman business world, a lot of us say headshots, no way. Like it, for me to show up to get photos taken is so hard, because if I schedule it 3 weeks in advance, I don't know how I'm going to be feeling that day. Am I going to be like puffy? Am I, you know, did I get a zit that week? So many things. So I choose not to schedule my portraits. And that you might be thinking, Margaret, that's crazy. But that's why I'm saying you need to speak to the problem of your person. So you know your target audience. And so you have to speak to their problems. So when you give a freemium that helps me solve that problem, then it's like, oh my gosh. And see, what happens is when you give them a freemium, when you set it up correctly, then they're getting a nurtured sequence. So that's a sequence of emails that now are taking them through a sales process, a nurturing process. So for a photographer, I would say, you know, this is a great way to show up to picture day, family picture day, how to get oh my gosh, how to get your family together, how to, you know, who here wouldn't love a family photo of like all of their siblings, their kids, like And it just is so hard to get done. And that's one of the reasons people don't do it. They just don't book it. So I might do a freemium that says, here's how to gather your entire family. Here's the emails that you send out, and here's how you do it. Oh my gosh. I think people would eat that up. I know I would. Okay. Here's some more freemium basics. So does your freemium complement your core offer? So we already discussed that. And does your freemium solve their problem? And does it bring clarity, or does it bring more confusion? And this is kind of like a slippery slope for me, because you want to bring some type of need after the freemium. After you've solved their problem, you want to have a little bit more of a need, because you want them to buy up, right? You want them to buy your course or buy your product. So it's important that the way you do that is by solving a problem and saying, this is how you can prevent this ongoing, or that, and then you give them a next step. Or you can say, now come to our free Facebook group for ongoing support. Well, in your free Facebook group, again, another freemium, but a little bit more of a touch. They're getting just a tiny sliver again, because you don't, this is another workshop. But in your free group, you want to give enough value to where people are staying and they're engaged, but then you don't want to give too much to where they don't take it to the next level. Okay. So when you name your freemium, make sure that you are naming it very in line with what the problem is and how you solve it. That is going to be, that's going to be key, because there's no, like, I know sometimes we want to get really creative and really cute with our titles and our names, but sometimes it causes way more confusion than anything. Just be direct. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, is your freemium easy to access? So the technology behind your freemium, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to invest in Infusionsoft in order to have a good sales funnel. But you definitely need to have something that will send out emails, something that will be just a tool that you can use and rely on, and it will just be easy. You don't have to do anything manual. With your freemium, it does not need to be like a manual process, because there are very inexpensive ways and low cost ways. And I'll give you a couple: MailChimp, Constant Contact, ConvertKit. Then you can get, you can get up there like Kajabi if you want to sell digital products. That's where all our Socialize LA campus is, all on Kajabi. I love it, but it's something that you need to be ready to invest in and use, because I didn't use it for a year and I was paying for it. So I don't want that to be you. Okay, so easy to access. Alrighty, let's move on here. If you have any questions, again, I'm looking at the chat box. Okay, so the stages of your freemium, you create it. You do not, remember it. When I think freemium, I'm thinking one sheeter, if this is going to be a digital download, because it's free. And people don't know you yet, or they may know you, but they're just dipping their foot into your pond. So you don't need to make it, it's just a taste. Share it. Once it's created, you need to send people there. There's nothing worse than an awesome digital download that you created that never gets used. And let me tell you what happens in the marketing world, in the digital marketing world, maybe in the regular marketing world too. Marketing is a very big ocean. But we get so tired, or I know that I got to a place where I just felt like everything social media and digital marketing was common knowledge, that other people didn't need to know it. But that's not the case. What you know about your industry as the expert, what I know about my industry as the expert, is years and years of knowledge and strategy. And people don't know that. And it's not common knowledge. That's why you're in business. So it's important that you share your freemium, even when you're sick of looking at it and talking about it. I would say if you want a day that you should refresh your freemium, I would say that look at it every 6 months and be ready to change it once a year if you need to have a date. Otherwise, if the information is relevant, then keep it going. It can stay on your website. Here's another really cool thing. And I actually gave a presentation like this for NABO LA yesterday. The content was a little bit different. It was customized just for them. But one thing that came out of it in my brain when I was talking about it is that when we're creating this freemium that we're about to do, I want you to now unlock that part of your head, that part of your brain, because now you can have a premium version of that. And that could potentially be something that you sell on your website, whether it's $15, $30, $45, a low cost premium of that freemium. And let me tell you the power of that. I never thought, as an agency, I will be very honest, selling something for $25 really never ever made sense to me for up until like 5 years ago. And then that's when I started creating my online my online community, because it's been amazing. But again, if people like the freebie and they see that they can upgrade to get a little bit more for that $27, $19, just start multiplying that. And what I told the viewers yesterday is that on any given week, I pay either half or all of my payroll all on the sale of my digital products. And that includes my planner, though, which is not necessarily digital. But and it was never like that for me. I want to bring you some hope and some light. I was not that entrepreneur, that business owner that had these digital downloads that were like going like hotcakes. Because there are people that have digital downloads that are making them hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. Yeah, but they've been doing it a long time. See, you look at it and you're like, oh, I could never do that. Amy Porterfield could sell a course in a second. I know. But if that is in your mind, again, that's another workshop. That's not right now. But I want to give you the big picture. Because if you can do that, that could be game changing for you. And that could happen for any company. My husband has a asphalt and concrete company, and we're finding ways to, I know it's going to sound crazy, how we can sell on his website best ways to hire a contractor. And it's not just a freebie, it's going to be a pretty nice walkthrough, because people need help with this. And to hire a consultant is thousands of dollars. So you see where I'm going with this? Real estate, same thing. There is a digital product out there that you can sell. Now, that's not your main business, but imagine if that just became, oh, I made $200 from that this week. Oh, I made $1,000. Oh, wow, this month I made $3,000 on that download. They're there. The possibilities are endless. Okay, so let me move on. But I'm here to inspire too, not just to tell you about freemiums, because freemiums lead into some really cool things. Okay, and then the conversion. The conversion is like the goal. Convert them to what? So for some of us, it'll be converting them to buying a product, or to having a call with you, scheduling a call, or coming into a free Facebook group, or and so on and so forth. Now, this is where you start gauging the success of your freemium. Is it converting people? And if it's not, then that's when you might say, oh, I'm going to tweak a couple things. And it's okay to tweak. Does anybody ever feel like, I just, like, that whole world is, I mean, I don't want to put anybody out, but am I talking to anybody like this is something that's been on your mind and your heart? Like, you know, you have something in you past a freemium into a digital product? Because if not, like, I want to like not talk about that, but I do want to make sure that as we go through this exercise, you might find that we were on the webinar yesterday, and one of the attendees said, I was creating my freemium and realized it's 3 pages long. It's really great information. I have to sell it. So I said, awesome. Yes, you need to do that. So, okay, let's move forward. Okay, so the flow of your freemium, and we'll just talk about this because we're going to get to the next slide, but the flow of your freemium should, again, go from shared to name, email. If you need more than a name and an email, like you want birthday, you want all these things, then that might be a little more of a commitment than your people are willing to make. So be really mindful of that. Remember, this is a way for people to get to know who you are. So giving you their email is like, yikes enough, right? And just speaking of the flow and technology, when you're setting up your download for them, let me make sure I say this correctly. Make sure you let them know that the freemium will be emailed to them. Because if they just put in their name and email, there is a really great chance, and then once they do that, it just goes to the screen where the freebie is. There's a really good chance that they give you a fake email. So make sure that it gets emailed to them and they know that. That way your chances of getting real emails are real. Let them know how often you're going to email. And remember, some people might already be on your list and be getting this. So you can put this out to your list. That's fine, because then you just know that they're still engaged with you. But let them know how often you're going to be emailing. I am not a person that emails a lot. So, and I know that there is a lot of power in email, but at the same time, it can get you can get blacklisted pretty quickly from some people's email boxes. So just be really mindful of that, of what you do afterwards. Okay. So the sharing, and I will be sending you these slides as well with the templates after this session, okay? Write a blog about your freebie. So your freemium will sit on its own page generally, but you can still have a blog. And the way I would write it is I would be, I know so many of my clients felt stuck or trapped, and I knew that I needed to, I created a way for them to get unstuck, blah, 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 blah. And then go down, tell the story, and then here is a framework of how I did it. And then there's your freemium. So you have a blog, it sits on your blog, and then you're regularly promoting it on your social media. You just put it everywhere that you go. Maybe even on, have it on your homepage. Have it everywhere that people see you. They should be able to get an example of your work. Okay, good. All right. 1 second here. Okay, now who's ready to start brainstorming theirs? Okay, good. Me too. Let's do this. Okay. Let's decide what type of design we're going to go with. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to bring up another screen for you. And if you want me to use you as an example, type in, and I can do a few of them too, type it into the chat, your business type or the type of freemium you're interested in, or just the topic, and we'll go from there. Because the brainstorming of this looks differently for everyone. There is no one size fits all. So talk about putting together a workshop that has like millions of solutions. Okay. So this is what you're going to be receiving. Now this is just a smidge of what your freemium could be set up as. But if this is new to you, I would take one of these and make it yours. Okay? So this is what I like to call just the tip grid. Okay? The tip grid could be used in a lot of different ways. You could have them listed like in a checklist, but if you know that your person is just more visual, then something like this looks really nice. Who here uses Canva already? Canva, okay. So if you don't use Canva, these templates are in Canva, and I just love it. It's just so easy. So if it's something that you're interested in, you're gonna get connected with it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so you've got the pro tips. So here's our first example: living a healthy plant-based lifestyle. So now an easy one, but this could also be a blog. It could be the myths of a plant-based lifestyle. And I know because I've worked with Priscilla before, and I know that people have myths like, oh, I'm not going to have muscle. Priscilla is like super toned muscle, and she has a plant-based lifestyle. So that is a myth, right, Priscilla? So start with your blog, the myths of a plant-based lifestyle, and then take it. And then the next opt-in to build your email list, as you know, that's very important. Then that can be like the 10 steps to start living a plant-based lifestyle. So you might trickle in like, try and go meatless Monday. And then, that's step 1. And then step 2 is cut out all dairy, or, little by little, because it doesn't need to be like cut off, right? That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. And give them the pros of it, and because that's a big decision, and it's like, well, why does someone need to be plant-based? And you need to educate them. This is why. So that might be in the blog as well. So, or a video series, that could also be your freemium. So don't be confined to thinking that your freemium has to be like a downloaded piece of paper, or something for their iPad or tablet. It could also be a video series, or even just one video. So your freemium there's so many options. Okay. Okay. So a freemium for law firms who need product marketing, products, am I saying that right? Promotional products. That's what I wanted to say. So what I would do is, you've got to fill a need. Their need is reaching more people. And everywhere they go, or now, even better, because they're not going anywhere. People aren't really going anywhere. Actually, here in California, we're like entering into phase 3. It feels kind of nice. So I would say 5 ways to connect with your, now this would only be right now in this time where people are not, where events are canceled and stuff. So I don't know how this would work unless you could do it now, to say 5 ways to connect with your clients and your potential clients, and then give them 5 different products on that page. Your logo here. Send this in the mail. Postage costs $1.75, but the value of that client could, blah 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 blah. And then so that is a freebie. However, I don't know if they're going to give you their email for that. You might just have to give them that. So that's the other thing that we run into, friends, is that some information you have to really think, is someone going to give me their email? Will you be able to market this for them? Now, when we think of freemium, you might say, I don't care if I get their email. I just want them to have the information. This is freemium information. Then awesome. Then that's your strategy. And that's not it. I mean, and that's it. But 90% of the time, I would say you always want an email for the information. But lawyers, I mean, people they get a lot of solicitations, as many of business owners do. But if you could do that, I think that would be a really cool blog to write. And you could even place it inside of your LinkedIn, because I know, Allison, you're very active on LinkedIn. I would write that as a LinkedIn article. Because so we might say, to heck with like the regular rules, that it needs to be on a website with an email gate, with a sales funnel. We might say, Margaret, we need to get this in front of people right now. And that's okay. Start it off, put it as a LinkedIn article for Allison. That's where she hangs out. That's where her people hang out. And just share it. Tag people. That's it. Okay, cool. Yes, please. Portrait photography focusing on empowering women, taking fear. Okay. Well, that's a really great topic. Empowering women and taking fear out of the photo process. So taking photos is a very private and personal thing. And it's also very necessary for so many reasons, right? In business, in life, it is necessary because your kids and your family, they want to see you. They want to remember you, me, us. And so I would say your freemium could be if that is going to be a core audience for you, and this might just be one of your freemiums, here's the 8 steps you take to take the fear out of taking your portraits. And so that's like a fear-based, or you can say, oh, this is a little more out of the box, but what if you had like a 3 journal prompts or 3 guided journal prompts to help you overcome the fear of taking portraits or something like that. And then that's when you would use this one. And this one's already ready for you to go, Leslie. You take this one and you've got it. Now, I'm going to show you how to make this your own, but if you're not familiar with Canva, but a visual legacy. Yes, there you go. How to create your visual but you want them to do something, and you want to remind them, or build your visual legacy, even if you are afraid, even if you have a fear of the photo process. That's what I would do. I like that because you've got visual legacy, and then you have the subtitle would be, even if you have a fear of the photo process. And then you can have this exercise. Why do you not like taking photos? This is it's like, well, I think that I'm, and so on and so forth. Okay. And then maybe instead of having 3 boxes here, you shorten them up a little bit. And then down here, you give them a mantra, and you write the mantra, and it says like, I am beautiful on the inside and out. I am excited to have my photograph taken so I can have a visual legacy for my children and my children's children, or the legacy of my business, or anything like that. Okay? Teamwork, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay, cool. So if anybody has anything else they want to have in the chat, awesome. But now I'm going to go back through these templates. Actually, you're looking at the templates. You can see them. I'll run through the other 3 that we didn't talk about. We have the bingo game. So the bingo game is fun. I have that as a freemium. And I used mine as it was a checklist that I just turned into a bingo game. And so I got a lot of awesome compliments on it. And the reason why I even started this freemium class was because I created this bingo template to accompany the workshop I did with the freemium. And then I thought, you know what? I don't want people to think that they should only do a bingo game for a freemium. So then I created all of these templates. And then I was like, I need to show people how to use them, just so you see how this thing works in my head. So, okay. So then you have, people love a calendar. Sorry. People love a calendar, to look at a calendar. This is crazy with this cool thing in the background, but I just wanted to show you the possibilities of what you could do behind. I did this house because I thought maybe there'll be a realtor here, and I believe I'm right. But here is a calendar. And remember, in this software, in Canva, now I have the premium Canva, which is $15 a month. Highly recommend. You can add your own custom fonts if you want. So I added all the Star Wars stuff for my fun stuff. And then I have my regular go-tos, but they have tons of fonts. So you can make this your own. None of us will have the same one. But this is set out as a calendar view. And so think about it. You can say a year of declutter. Okay, a year. Oh my gosh, a 1-year healing program for clients. So this would be a real freemium where you could possibly do a paid, because a year of but you're not giving them a year of content. What you're calling this would be a 1-year healing program for clients. And every month is a topic. Focus on this every single month. Here's something that you can, and then you might have the premium guided group coaching or something along those lines. And then you say, and then now you have your curriculum for a guided program. How amazing is that? You see, guys, what I'm saying is that you could, from a free product, you may then say, now I actually have a paid program, a paid product. So is anybody else thinking of something paid they could do from a freemium? Awesome. Good. Because I know it's about helping, but we're business owners. We're business owners, we're professionals, we're salespeople. We have to earn revenue. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, the last template that I'm going to show you is the checklist. Now, this is kind of a very in-depth checklist. So a checklist could just be a list, but with this one, you can have 3 concepts. So if you wanted to, you could use these boxes as places where you write more content, more, instruction, or you could leave it blank as a prompt. So here, let's say this was my checklist. I might say social platform 1, and then social platform 2, 3. And then here's the checklist. And I might do something like this. And, if this will be platform 1, platform 2, and then platform 3. And what this is telling me is that, update profiles, change header, You know what I mean? So then that's my checklist. It's like, here's your checklist to stellar social media looking profiles or something like that. So, and I know this is like something that I do every single day, so it's going to be fast for me, and this might not be so fast for you, and that's okay. Just choose a template and start making it your own. I added this little guy as your logo, so you can add in your own logo here, start changing the colors to whatever matches you, but it's all set here. And the reason why I added the checklist is because it's very difficult to make these boxes. It's annoying. So now you have something that you can copy and paste. Okay. So now, does everybody have a piece of paper? Okay. So what I'd like you to do is we're going to start brainstorming. I know a few of us already have the brainstorm. You have the brainstorm for what you want to do. Does anybody who has not said anything, is there something that you'd like us to brainstorm with you? If you can, in the chat, either privately or in the group, tell me what kind of freemium you're going to do. Your freemium might be a video, it might be an audio, it might be a Facebook group, it could be a one-on-one session with you. Now that's giving a lot, but if that's where you're at in your business and you just want to have the conversations with people because you have an amazing conversion rate, then get them on the phone. So I'm going to give you a minute, and I want you to think of your business and what you could possibly do as a freemium. That's me. It's thinking music. Okay. Did we make some, how did we do? Okay, let's see here. So like, provides a link between health and finance. Oh, yes. Awesome. Okay. So a budget planner, that sounds amazing. So again, this is a freemium. So like when I think of a budget planner that you could create, that's like 12 months of, like, honestly, you could totally, this is anonymous, so I don't even know who you are. So, but what I'm telling you is that you could do a 12-month planner that you sell to people. But maybe for your freemium, you can say, here's the monthly checklist that you use to have a healthier life in your body and your finance, or something like that. And then it's just the checklist, or, you know, a flow chart or something. And then the upsell could be the actual planning tool. Now you might say, no, I don't care. I'll give them the 12-month. Then take the time to create that 12-month, and then you could have, you can give that as your freemium. That's awesome. Oh, you already said that. Yeah, that's great. The low-hanging fruit for my business would be tax-saving tips for entrepreneurs. Yes, very good. Okay, so tax-saving tips for entrepreneurs. So the way you could do that is, you know, a lot of the stuff that we do in our freemiums could be blog posts that are free, right? But we're like, we're not giving you this tool. You need to download this and really think about it, right? So you're getting them to take that extra step. So tax saving tips, that could be a checklist, or I might even say, are you using these tax saving tips for entrepreneurs? Because somehow when you make it personal with them, then it's like, oh my gosh, I need that. I need tax saving tips. What is it? That's like an immediate need. Okay, TMS branded journal to go with, oh yeah. Okay, yes, Donna, awesome. And we'll talk about that later today. So Donna's freemium is a video workshop. And so the technology for that is going to be constant contact opt-in, and then an automatic email with the link to the YouTube channel, to the YouTube video. Great. 10 steps to start living, 7-day at-home workout and recipe. Excellent. Good job, Priscilla. I like the 5 ways to connect with your clients remotely. Yeah. Oh, yes. There you go. Wow. Great job, everyone. Oh, hey, Jasmine. How are you? Jasmine is the anonymous. Awesome. 12 reasons to sign up for a 1-year healing program. Amazing, 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 amazing. I love it. Okay. Very good. Okay, everyone. So here's the next step. You have your idea. In just a few minutes, I'm going to send you the templates. And whether you can start working on the templates or not, the one thing about getting things done is scheduling it in your calendar, your planner, whatever you use to stay organized. Block out time. And I would say if you could block out an hour this week and an hour next week, you could get this thing done and ready and live to share. Does anybody want to take on that challenge? Doris is like, no, I'll try. Okay, Leslie, awesome. But if you need an hour a week for the next 4 weeks, awesome. Because I'm trying to let you know that I know that this is a freemium is like a next level marketing. Okay. This is like A+ work here when you have something like this. Most of us are just trying to get the social media done and have a website, right? So, but I'm telling you, you will be so happy to have something like this, that when you're asked to speak, you can say, everyone, I want you to go to my website, blah, blah, blah.com/free, and I'm going to give you, and you've got your freemium. And now you can captivate them again. You see, it's so powerful. So that is it. If you think that you might need more support, I want to invite you to join the Flex Your Influence community. It's $37 a month, and we do things just like this. Work out your ideas, take it to the next level. It is created to be a safe place for you to learn, to be guided, to get monthly templates, monthly social media prompts, so you don't have to think about it. And it's not just me, it is 2 of my team members who are amazing, and people are making waves. So it's the Flex Your Influence community. If you would like to join, send me an email. I want to have a conversation with you. If you're like, I don't want a conversation, then I will send you the link to join. All right? So, oops. I just sent that only to Allison. Sorry, Allison. She already has my email. But you are welcome to join, and I would love, love, love to have you. So, and anybody who joins this month is getting a one-on-one intensive with me. So maybe we can finish your freemium together. But does anybody have any questions? Question, I have a workshop scheduled for next week, but only 2 people signed up. Should I cancel or go on as planned? Go on as planned. Go on as planned. We have to, but you still have a whole week. Do you know that people sign up for things like very last minute? I bet you could still, depending on how big your email list, how many people you're sharing it with on social media, I bet you could get at least 10 there. Okay. My goal is to have a workbook that's kind of reflective with checklists and outfits. Maybe I need to break it into separate freemium. Oh yeah. So maybe the freemium is one set, and then maybe you sell the other. And remember I was telling you yesterday, one of our attendees said, oh, I was creating my freemium and it was too much, so I want to sell it. So that's what happened to her. She's an interior designer, and so she had like these different room concepts or something like that, and she's like, I'm going to give them one room for free, and if they want the rest, it's $25. Fair enough. Let's see here. Okay, so you have no list. That's okay. Then start putting it on social media, or start putting a list, at least a tentative list of people on your email that you take an hour or 2 and start writing out people who you would love to be on that workshop, and email them and say, here it is. Here's how you register. I think you'd really benefit from it. Okay. Easy hack to eliminate. I think, okay, so that's a good tactic of when you're trying to get someone to sign up for something, to use like the limited time. But if you are in a position where you don't have an email list, I don't know what your following is on social media, sometimes you've got to be a little more flexible, because you've got to build up the momentum. Does that make sense? So you can even say like by popular demand or something like that. You're welcome, everyone. We're wrapping up, but if anybody has questions, I'm going to stay here for a few minutes and answer those. I am going to stop the recording though.